a lot of people say it's a lot harder to bridge between one's own personal inner values and the values of action in the world. It's a lot of people say, well, I've got my private values, of course, but then in the workplace, I have to do the things that are expected of me for my role.
Yeah.
You guys don't seem to follow that mantra.
Well, I think that mantra is changing, and I think that that's part of the problem, or the existential problem for legacy companies. You know, I think the younger generation, which we see out there protesting Fridays for the Future, we see the younger generation accepting gender fluidity and LGBTQ rights, and we see racial and social justice issues coming to the forefront for everyone, really, and there's a reckoning that's happening. So I think more and more people are no longer accepting just, hey, I'm going to go work for a company just to make money, or the definition of success is really starting to shift. And yes, that is not easy, and it's not all happening, you know, universally. You can go from country to country and you can see some differences, but increasingly people are fed up with that old model of capitalism, the old model of societal design, and that's changing and shifting. So if you are a company and you're a C-suite executive and you're thinking about your future, you have to think about this newer generation that is no longer going to accept the status quo. And if you're going to be an organization that's going to innovate, you need to attract and retain the best talent to do that. So I do think that that's loosening. And I think that, climate change realities that we're facing right now are bringing that to the forefront. The inequity issues that are facing modern society are bringing to the forefront. Racial and social justice reckoning that's been happening in America and elsewhere. These things are happening, and organizations no longer can sit on the sidelines and say, we're going to just sort of do nothing about it.
I wanted to add to what Rob was saying, because I think, that is so true. And also not only a generational thing, but I think the pandemic really made us kind of take a step back and look at what our priorities were, what our values were, what we wanted out of life, what are the important things. And that's why now a lot of these big companies are having such a tough time retaining talent, because people have realized, like, why would I spend 16 hours, 12 hours, like crazy amount of hours working for this corporation? I don't feel represented. I don't feel like it really carries my values. So why should I keep doing that? So I don't, it's really strong sentiment in young people, but I think we are seeing that more and more. There's this awareness of what are the important things? What does growth mean, right? What does that mean for us and for future generations? Can we keep working in the same way that we've been working up until now, or do we need to kind of shift our mindset and have different measures for success? We need to maybe redefine what that means and whether growth is a part of that.
I think you're both completely on ball with everything. I think definitely COVID accelerated this awareness. And, if you're not in the grinding machine every day, that you go into the office and you're kind of, cookie cutter, you do the cookie cutter thing, but then all of a sudden you found yourself at home in your reality, whether that was with family or you were alone and isolated. We couldn't leave our apartments. We could only go out, where I was, we could only go out, I think it was once or twice a week, to go to the supermarket. You weren't allowed even to go for a walk. So you couldn't touch nature, you couldn't see nature. So I think that the awareness that happened in this was because COVID didn't differentiate between race or social class or status or whatever it might be. It's affected everybody equally. It made us all aware in a way that normally we were living to work, living to work, and now we're kind of working to live. And I think that step back that we were all forced to take made a lot of people very much aware. Many people had a choice to be able to do it. Many people don't. But the awareness the access to information, social media, sharing ideas, and all of that has accelerated the awareness. And I think it is a movement. It's a movement that we won't be able to stop.